Okay. Yeah, you're the first one here. Should be more coming because I told everybody I was going to do it about this time, so we should have more showing up. But it's probably not going to be a real long one because man, I am freaking. It's been a long day and I'm tired. But long enough to get some information out on this. Although I think pretty much everybody else has covered everything. I don't know if there's anything I'm going to be able to cover that other people haven't, but maybe not everybody has seen all the other. Although I might have a couple of things that they don't have. I don't know, but I tell you, yeah, I'm really starting to wonder about that area over there because it's like why does every case that we have over there end up being a circus? All kinds of weird stories. So, Melody, did you get some guitar playing in? Yeah, all kinds of things. All kinds of things up. Oh, I tell you, man. This Truckee area is wearing me out. Ay. It's like I tell you one thing, I wouldn't want to be a 16-year-old over there because that's yeah. I just saw that. I just saw oh god, I can't think of the gal's name. It's the reporter for KTVB and the Boise station. And yeah, I saw them. They got that big old backhoe back there in the backyard. Oh, retuning new strings. Oh, hello from NorCal. I guess you guys. Well, I guess not every area, but a lot of areas have got a lot of snow, more than I have here. I have snow in the yard here, but it's kind of like started to melt off. The sun came out and melted some of it, but then it was so freaking cold because it was like I think yesterday morning, like it was like almost lunchtime, and it was still only 23 degrees. Yeah, man, I tell you what, it's just like that's just unbelievable over there. I just don't know. Is there something in the air or something in the water? But it just, man, it just seems like here Copper over there. I don't know if you can hear. He's over there slurping water. He always does that. He'll lay there and not make a peep until I get on here. And then he'll start wandering around and slurping water and making noise. He's like a kid when mom gets on the phone, right? It's like that's how we used to be. It's like when mom was on the phone, we knew we could get away with stuff. Does she get off the phone and kick her butt? Yeah, just lay down, be good. That's a good dog. Yeah, that's a good dog. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you anything right now. You just got done with dinner. Oh, anyway. So we're getting all kinds of stories up of this what actually happened with Trinity. I think maybe the first one that was told was the correct one, and the subsequent stories are, I think, are damage control, CYA. But I swear. I mean, maybe every area is like this, but just we don't hear about it as much. But it just seems like that area over there is just like it's like drugs flow, flow like water over there. I mean, it just like seems like drugs are as available as candy at the candy store. Hello, UK. If you think about it, Isn't it weird? I mean, I think that because I'm older, so it's like I think about back when I was growing up. Uh, I just never would have thought about being able to talk to people online from all over the world in real time. You know, that's now kids growing up today. That's I just can't imagine what it would have been like to be able to watch TV on a phone when I was a kid. Oh, God, we'd have thought we died and gone to heaven. The things that kids grew up with now, you know, they just take it for granted. Can you imagine if a kid nowadays had to watch a black and white TV? It'd be like, it's like, oh, I grew up with black and white TV. I remember when we finally got a color TV, it was like major, major. Yeah, unfortunately, it seems to be that way. I don't know about the hose, but definitely the drugs. But now what's interesting is that one of my one of my subscribers emailed me this morning, and she actually talked to Trinity's grandpa yesterday morning about 10:30, 10:30 or 11:30. They were coming out of this. It's kind of like a counseling center. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, they were little bricks. That's what the first one I had was like about this big. It was just a bar. What they call it, a bar phone, and it was just a little cheapy, thing that, and it had, of course, to text. You had the what are they called, the multi tap, where you had to hit it 3 times to get to see. No such thing as swipe back then. It was a pain in the butt to send. That's why I didn't hardly ever text because And my first one too was just a little. It was a little bar phone. It was a track phone. I didn't even have like an expensive cell service. I just had a track phone because I didn't really use it that much. And I'd buy like 100 minutes a month or whatever it was. And oh, the good old days, which weren't quite so good. You know, yeah. Somebody said something about living back in the good old days, and it's like, uh, sorry, but I know what it's like to use an outhouse outside in the middle of winter. Yeah, a bunch of rich kids doing whatever they want, and that's how it struck me too. You know, that's how it struck me. Yeah, back when things were simple. Yeah, I don't think I'd quite want it that simple. I'd still like flush toilets, but but back when I was growing up, people didn't lock their doors. Of course, I lived in grew up small, really small town, about 4,500 people. But people didn't lock their doors. You could go downtown on your bikes and stuff like that. You could leave your bike sitting outside the store, and nobody stole it. It's like you didn't worry about your kids waiting at the bus stop. You didn't worry about your kids walking to school. It's just, it was, I don't know. Sometimes I wish I could go back in time. I wouldn't want to go. You tip the outhouse over? Yeah, I'd have whipped your butt too. Hopefully, nobody was in there taking a dump when you did that. That really got your butt whipping. Oh man. Can you see somebody sitting there, and all of a sudden, shaboom. It's like sitting there like, ah! Oh. Oh my word. Your dad was in there? Oh my word. You got guts, I'll tell you that. Yeah. So how many months did you get grounded for? Oh, that would be fun. See, that back then that's when it'd be good to have camera phones and be able to take video. Hey, Dad, smile. Boom. Oh God. That's funny right there. I don't care who you are. Oh man. Oh, grandpa. Oh, papa. That's right. Yeah, papa's a. Some people use the word papa for dad. Some use it papa for granddad. Yeah. Only a week. I guarantee you, they got a hold of me. When I got my butt whipped, it'd been longer than a week. I tell you. Oh my word. Yeah. So how long did it take for him to catch you? Because I don't imagine you just stood there and like, okay, I did it. Spank me. Because there are so many people that might be, yeah, spank me. No, but yeah, not when you're a kid though. Anyway. Yeah, I'll chase that rabbit. Yeah, I bet. Never forgot it. Uh-huh. Oh man, I'm trying to think what the worst time I got. Well, I know the worst time I got in trouble was my junior year of high school. It was after a basketball game. Probably had an attack dog come after you. Sick 'em, sicker. I remember the worst trouble I ever got in was when it was after a basketball game. I remember it was really cool because it's like it was the first time any team in our league went over 100 points. It was like one of those games where nobody could miss a shot, and we ended up losing it 103-97. And of course, this was like a bigger school we were playing, so we actually played it pretty tough. But then after the game, some people talked me and, hey, we're going to go out and drive around and drink some beer. I had never had beer before, right? So it's like, okay. And yeah, heard you laughing. Yeah, and if you're laughing, that just made it even worse. I'll teach them to laugh at me. But anyway, we went out driving around, drinking beer. And I remember my car was parked behind the high school, behind the gym. And they took me back to my car. And of course, I had to scrape the windows because it was cold and everything was all frosted over. So I'm letting it warm up, scraping the windows. And it was like 5:00 in the morning, right? So I figured, oh, I'm scot free. 5:00 in the morning, mom and dad won't be up. Yeah, they were. And I got grounded. I got my car keys taken away. I couldn't drive my car for 9 weeks. I had to walk to school. Oh, it was terrible. It was just terrible. So anyway, here's the deal with Trinity. Now there are several stories, and the first one that was told, I think, is the real one. And the first original story was that they're in there doing drugs. And I think I already mentioned that one of my subscribers talked to Trinity's grandpa yesterday morning after I guess he's a counselor at this place. And I guess he's a super nice guy. And anyway, he was talking about how Trinity was on drugs and he was concerned about it. He said that she was getting really heavy into drugs. And this is like only maybe a couple, like 2.5 hours before she was found, that she talked to the grandpa. And anyway, he was concerned about that. And of course, the original story was that they were at her aunt's house, which from my understanding is it's not a real aunt. They're like a family friend. It's like I know that my best friend's kids all used to call me Uncle Kevin, even though I was absolutely no relation to him, but I was very close to the family, almost a part of the family. So I was referred to as Uncle Kevin. I think that they call this gal her aunt. From what I understand, she's just a family friend. I may be wrong on that, but that's what I heard anyway. That's what people are saying. So anyway, she was in there with her aunt and her uncle, and apparently they were doing hits of LSD or acid. They were dropping acid. Now, if that's the case, that explains a lot of things. Because let me tell you, I've seen people who were on acid, and I've also seen people who were locked up in jail and then were having withdrawals off of either heroin or LSD or whatever drug they were, really hard drug that they were taking. And they would start, these guys were locked up in jail and they would start hallucinating. I remember this one guy back there just screaming. So I go back there to see what's going on, and he says, "You kill him, kill him, kill him." And I'm like, "What? What?" I thought he was talking about, there was like 3 or 4 people in there in the cell, so I thought that he was talking about his, you know, co-inhabitants of the jail cell. And no, he was talking about, he was seeing spiders crawling on the wall. He was seeing these like big tarantula spiders or whatever. And he's like, they're all over. They're all over the walls. And I'm looking around and I don't see anything on the walls. I don't even see a daddy long leg or anything on there. He's like, you got to kill them. You got to kill them. They're all over. So of course I'm trying. I'm here. I am trying to talk to this guy and trying to convince him. No, you're just hallucinating. There are no spiders in here, at least that I know of. But I'm telling you what, man. And then I had a guy that I worked with. He was actually a pastor for the Salvation Army, and in his younger days, he had been quite a druggie, and he used to love to take hits of acid, right? And he told me a lot of stories about what it does to you, how long it can last, because you can have like one hit of acid and you can actually have flashbacks. The effects of it, depending on how big a hit you take, can last for several hours. And before anybody asks me what's in the bottle, it's water. So acid can really mess you up. It can make you hallucinate. It can, you know. So the story was that it took, I don't know how many hits of acid. It could have been one, could have been more. I don't know. All we know is that they said originally that she took a hit of acid, and then she was doing some. I don't know if they said bong rips or bong rip, but she took at least one bong rip. I don't know what was in the bong because I can guarantee you that even if you're taking acid, marijuana is not going to affect you that way. You take a bong rip of marijuana, it's not going to do a whole lot. And yeah, take a acid, take a trip, and never. But it's easy to see why they call it a trip because it takes you a completely different place. It's just like you're traveling to another dimension. And so apparently that she did, I don't know, one hit of acid, 2 hits, I don't know, but she took at least one hit of acid, and then she took a bong rip. And like I say, I don't know what was in that bong, but marijuana is not going to affect somebody like that. Even combined with the LSD, I don't think, and I don't know this 100% sure because I'm not an expert on this stuff, but I'm just, common sense is telling me that, if there was just marijuana in the bong, just cannabis, it's not gonna do that to somebody because I guess it was like almost immediate. As soon as she took, I don't remember, it was one hit or 2 hits off of that bong, she just started going crazy and was all disoriented. And I think that's probably why she headed outside with just a robe I mean, she had no shoes on. She had a pair of socks. She had her pajama. What do they call it? The print. I saw it. Somebody else posted it. I'm not a fashion guy, so I don't remember what it's called. But it's like a print, and then uh, she had her pajama, or like matching pajama bottoms on, or whatever, and some socks. And so I don't know. That was the original story, is that she took that and became all just wired and paranoid and everything. And so she said that the aunt said originally that she went outside to get a breath of fresh air. I, what I'm thinking originally, I thought, well, maybe this is cartel involvement. Maybe they kidnapped her and killed her, and because it's like, when you don't know all the facts, you try to brainstorm everything, and so you concoct whatever story that makes the most sense to you. So anyway, apparently she took this bong rip and just started going nuts. And yeah, I'm just tired. My eyes keep yeah. I was doing this last night too. I was watching the replay, and it's like, I'm just, like I say, this isn't going to be a very long one because I am just like pooped. So I'm okay. I'm just, my eyes, I know I keep I keep wanting to drop off to sleep. I was doing the same thing last night too. It's like I was watching the replay this morning. I'm like, holy crap. Yeah, I got water. I got water right here. I'm good. But so anyway, that was the original story, is that she took a hit of acid, took a bong rip, and whatever was in that bong, she just started going nuts. And I'll go to bed. I'll go to bed here pretty soon. It's too early, man. It's only 6:22 here, but I get up like at 3:30, 4 o'clock, not by choice. My body wakes up and I can't go back to sleep, so I get tired really early too. Yes, it's water. Yeah, I wish it was something else. I wouldn't mind having a little bottle of little margarita or something, or even a Corona. That would be pretty good too. Trust me, if I was drinking a Corona, I'd be holding it up proudly. And or whatever it was I was drinking. But I made the mistake of going online drunk once. It was in a chat, and I was like, yeah, these girls I was friends with, man, I had drunk like 2 whole bottles of wine, right? And I was pretty looped, and no, take no speed. But I was pretty looped, and man, I was like telling everybody I loved them and all this stuff. And then the next day they were telling me what I said, and I'm like, what? It's like, all right, no more drinking and going online. No more. Nope, not doing it. Nope, not good. So anyway, so apparently, um, no, I'm not looped right now. I'm just tired. So apparently, she took the hit of acid. I assume just one. I don't know. They just said that she was hitting acid, and then took a bong rip, whatever it was in that bong. But I'm afraid that, if it's just marijuana in that bong, it's not going to do that. It's not going to do that to anybody. Well, anyway, apparently after she took this bong rip, she just like went nuts, and just like, oh, and took off. But there's some other statements made that really make me wonder what's going on. Now, I don't know if you have seen that statement by. Let me find it here. No, wrong. I'm going the wrong way on my pictures. All right, I'm going to try to share my screen. Now, last time I tried doing this, it didn't work. I don't know if this has to be in the browser to be able to share the screen, but we'll see if this works. I don't know. I mean, I've seen them smoke crack in the bong. They use bong all the time to, smoke crack, melt it down, and put it in a bong and smoke the crack. So I'm going to try to share my screen here. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the picture to see if you can see it. And I'm going to come back so I can look at the chat and see if you can see what I'm showing. All right. All right. So can you see that? Sunshine Fowler. I'm going to come back into the chat, see if you get an answer here. Yeah, I've got I got a bottle of magnesium and a bottle of potassium, both up on my little shelf thing up here. So, could you guys see that picture when I was showing it? I'm gonna do it again. All right, can you guys see this picture where it says Sunshine Fowler? Let me know yay or nay, because I'm not gonna bother trying to share it if you guys can't see it. Ah, come on, man. Okay. Yeah, not everybody has those, so I just want to, just in case everybody hasn't seen this. Well, this is apparently a gal who was at the party. And of course, she says, I am directly involved. I don't know what she means by that statement, other than maybe all she means by it is that she was just there and observed everything. Says these are selfies from the night, so we know that this is the exact Argyle shirt and plaid pajama pants she was wearing. There was no time for changing of clothes as things happened very quickly, which I find that statement just kind of really, really weird. It really makes me sends up red flags as to what really went on. She says the at-risk description should be understood as she is lost or injured in a challenging natural environment and needs to be found / rescued as temperatures are low and conditions are wet and muddy, not a family, friend, boyfriend, nor mental health issue that is known. All right, so that's what she said. Okay, so we've got that's the original story that Trinity was, like her grandpa said, she was pretty much very much into drugs. She took um, hit of LSD and then whatever else was in that bong, and then she went crazy and apparently went wandering off. Now there's several stories on this too, as to she said somebody said that she was wanting to talk to her aunt, and then somebody went to get her aunt, and when they came back out, she was gone. All right, I thought maybe, originally I thought maybe the cartel was involved just because of her dad being, her stepdad being a Nevada County deputy sheriff. But yeah, well, but her own grandpa said that she was very much into drugs. So yeah, she was pretty much a druggie, or at least indulged quite a bit. Now, so that's what was the original story, that she went outside to get a breath of fresh air. Somebody also said that she wanted to talk to her aunt, her friend of the family aunt, whatever it is that she really happens to be, and that her friend went to get her aunt, and when they came back, she was gone. Now that could be a plausible story. I don't know, but the fact is, if you know anything about acid, it can really mess you up. You can start having hallucinations. Like I said, you just kind of lose your identity. You get on this trip and you just like nothing's really real, like the Matrix. So they're thinking that, maybe she was disoriented from whatever it was that she took, and so went wandering off. Now, the other story, the one her aunt is now telling now, is that she was going to walk to her boyfriend's place. Okay, which was 10 miles away. Okay, she's outside in a robe and this argyle top, pajama bottoms, and socks. It's like around 30 degrees outside, anywhere from 33 to 30 degrees. Well, cold enough to get hypothermia. And that could very well be what happened is that she died of hypothermia after taking off and wandering around, not really know where she's going in the dark. Maybe stopped it because she was found like at this kind of like makeshift cave that was made out of trees or whatever. And so, maybe she was in there, trying to take some shelter or whatever. But I don't know. It just seems really, really weird. Now, I don't know if you've seen pictures of her family, but there's a couple of things that kind of stand out here. So let me find the page first. No, oh, maybe I didn't save it. Actually, no, I don't think they did call 911 originally. And so she goes wandering off. They found her 4/10 of a mile from the house, north of there's like a drainage ditch area. And they found her there, less than half a mile from the house. Later, the aunt changed her story. Yeah, I know. It's like I can still feel I didn't realize this. I was this tired. I would have probably canceled this for tonight. But just let me give you this, then I'm going to get off here and at least go lay down. But the next story that her aunt told was that she was going to walk to her boyfriend's place, which was 10 miles away. All right. So she's going to walk to her boyfriend's place in pajamas with a thin robe, just socks on, left her phone in the house. She's not going to go anywhere without that phone, like I was saying. But maybe she just got so disoriented she's out there walking around in the dark and doesn't, got away from where there's any lights or anything and lost all perspective of where she was. And she could very well have died of hypothermia. Now, what's going to be interesting is when they do the autopsy to see what they find in her system. The only thing is, if she's a druggie, that stuff's going to show up. It's no proof that she took anything that night, because if she's been taking drugs, that stuff's going to be in her system when they do the autopsy, if they're honest about it. Let's hope this is not another one with so many question marks that Kylie's had. So that's the stories. I heard that Grandpa's supposed to be speaking out and that Daniel actually might be speaking out. So, yeah, and I don't know what they've done as far as testing, because you know how well they did that on Kylie. They didn't do any DNA. They didn't do hair samples. They didn't do dental records, none of that stuff. So, and of course, you know that her dad or her stepdad is the deputy sheriff there in Nevada County. So they're being this haphazard with this and all these contradictory statements. And her stepdad's a cop. No, I don't even think it was Kylie. I really don't. In an autopsy, I don't think they even did one. I think that they just, did the thing. Yeah, I'm just really tired, man. I'm just like, I've been up since about 3:45 this morning. I'm just like, I did the same thing the other night too. I was just so tired. It's like I think my voice puts me to sleep, honestly. I should make myself an ASMR tape or something and just play my voice because it seems like the more I hear my voice, it's like, I just that boring. I don't know. Yeah, I know. I need to go to bed. Anyway, that's the update right now. I was gonna do a little bit more, but man, I'm just like I am so freaking tired that I'm gonna fall asleep on you. Yeah, and Cece, I felt bad for her. I felt really bad for her. In fact, I sent her a message or in her comments about, man, I know you must feel horrible, because she knows the family and all that. So anyway, I hate to cut this short, folks, but I'm gonna fall asleep on you. You guys don't want to hear me snore. So yeah, I wish you had some orange juice. That sounds really good. Or some cran raspberry or whatever. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here before I fall asleep on you because I'm gonna here in the next couple minutes. I can't keep my eyes open anymore. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out there tonight for you, and hopefully it's been some decent information that you haven't heard 100 times over already. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here because I can't even keep my eyes open now. So thanks everybody for coming, and I'll talk to you later.